A Florida man was bitten twice by the same shark at the same beach over a decade apart. A Florida man was arrested for punching a police horse. A Florida man arrested for placing an explosive device in a casino bathroom. And a Florida man expecting to be tied up for some sex was instead attacked with a hatchet. These are the weird stories for Friday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast in the galaxy, and the only daily weird news podcast that does Florida Friday. All the weird news from Florida this week. Let's go. Baby, baby, I'm falling in love with Floridaman. A Florida man was bitten twice by a shark at the same beach over a decade apart. I'm curious if this is the same shark. I know up top in the title I said same shark, but I'm not quite sure. I would like to think it was the same shark, like this shark's got it out for this one guy in particular. He's just got a certain flavor I enjoy with a nice Chianti. I mean, imagine being bitten twice by the same shark, decade apart. I mean, this is like the Liam Neeson of sharks, wouldn't you say? Let's read it. Let's find out, though. It could be the offspring of the same shark. You know, this shark is carrying on a family tradition. The article says, waves splashing over a reef at Bathtub Reef Beach. That sounds lovely. Bathtub Reef Beach in Florida. You probably could take your whole family to Bathtub Reef Beach and not think that, you know, you might lose a toddler to a shark or some sort of flesh-eating disease. But no. Keep in mind, this is Florida. All these things exist. Naked men walking around with their penis in a Pringles can. This happens. So waves are splashing at this Bathtub Reef Beach at sunrise on Hutchinson Island. Oh, Hutchinson Island sounds like a lovely place to get a disease. While the odds of being bitten by a shark are remarkably low, do you know what the numbers are for shark bites? It's actually surprisingly low. 1 in 4.3 million. That's according to the Florida Museum of Natural History. Now, we might want to just take that with a grain of salt because, I mean, this is a Florida organization, so they're probably not the best at math. Now, it says one man has beaten those odds. More than a decade after his first shark bite, Florida man Cole Tashman, age 28, is recovering from another shark bite he suffered at the very same beach. Cole's first encounter occurred when he was 16 while surfing in waist-deep water at the Stewart Rocks Break off Bathtub Beach, when a roughly 5-foot-long black-tip reef shark clamped onto his right hand. Cole managed to fend off the shark by striking its head with his surfboard. He then used his T-shirt as a makeshift bandage and paddled to shore. The injury required only 12 stitches and a cast. Very lucky man. You think he would just count his winnings and step away from the poker table, but no. Has to keep surfing in the same place. Fast forward 11 years, he found himself in a similar yet more severe predicament at the same beach where he was surfing with 2 friends just last week. This time, a much larger 7 or 8 foot tiger or bull shark attacked him, chomping his feet in a single agonizing bite. Well, you know, bite me once, shame on you. Bite me twice. I mean, it's pretty much shame on me, wouldn't you say? Now, there's some quotes in here by Cole, who's, a Florida surfer, and it would be fun to play with his accent. You can imagine how stupid he probably sounds, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to skip right to the end of it, where his friends Hunter and Zach, of course he's got friends Hunter and Zach, surfer boys down in Florida. I mean, if your life is in the hands of Hunter and Zach, though, I don't know if that's so great. Now, Hunter and Zach actually helped Cole to the shore and used surfboard leashes as tourniquets to staunch the bleeding. Wow, look at Hunter and Zach go to town helping out Cole survive this second shark attack. Now, it says here that 3 tendons were completely torn and 1 was partially torn in the incident. Cole ultimately underwent 2 surgeries and got 93 stitches and 15 staples to fix the issue. And then the article says Florida is the world's #1 location for non-fatal shark bites each year. It's probably the location for most fatal shark bites each year as well, I'd imagine. This is all according to the Florida Museum. I don't know what makes the Florida Museum the expert on worldwide shark bites. Palm Beach County is ranked 3rd in the state, in case you're wondering where not to go on vacation. I just recommend avoiding Florida altogether unless you have amazing health insurance. Now, surprisingly, Cole's got a girlfriend. This genius is doing it somehow with the ladies, and she launched a GoFundMe fundraiser for him. She really digs him. He's probably got abs, that's why. They've raised almost their entire goal of $30,000 for Cole. Wow, this girl, Anna, imagine? I'm just constantly befuddled. I mean, you're listening to a broke man in a closet, just making no money, trying to bring the world some joy and relief in this world that causes a lot of anguish. I can't get a quality girlfriend. This guy, this idiot that can't learn from his first shark bite, this Florida man, he gets this great girlfriend who raises money for him, probably kisses his boo-boo. It's unbelievable. What an unfair world we live in, huh? Now, the article doesn't indicate whether or not authorities are going to try and track down and prosecute this shark. It's probably going to be difficult. Prosecuting sharks is tough. They're the ultimate criminal in nature because after they bite you, they grow all new teeth so that forensics are completely fooled. A Florida man was arrested for punching a police horse. Imagine getting in a brawl with a giant, strong, muscular animal like a police horse. You really got to be on something to get in an altercation with a horsey. Some strong Florida man Superman drugs. You know the ones. The ones that make you feel invincible. We have a story here. This is out of Jacksonville, Cracksonville, I call it. Emmanuel Jones of Cracksonville, no relation to your host of this podcast. Emmanuel Jones, the Florida man, was arrested for punching a Cracksonville Sheriff's Office horse after a football game last weekend. Florida man was like, "Can I smoke this here?" The horse went, "Nah," and then he punched the horse. That's probably how it went down. That's my theory, but let's find out. According to the arrest report, game attendees were exiting the stadium at 8:30 p.m. This was at a Georgia-Florida game. Police were instructing the attendees to use the sidewalks, stay out of the street. To make sure people stayed out of the street, multiple officers were forming a line. The Florida man, Jones, walked past the line in between four police horses in the street. According to the report, an officer on one of the horses saw Jones get close to the animal and then saw the horse's head suddenly jerk up and to the right. They realized Florida man had punched the police horse, which I believe is similar to punching a police officer, correct? Technically, a horse is a cop, right? A police horse is a cop. I believe you would face the same repercussions as if you assaulted a police officer. I mean, it's not a normal cop because it craps on the sidewalk, but it's still, it takes bribes like regular cops, but just in the form of carrots, not cashola and drugs. All right, back to the Florida man play-by-play. It says 3 officers grabbed a hold of Jones, who was still, quote, shadowboxing and swinging his arms all around. One of the officers struck Jones in the face, and then the suspect was forced to the ground. Jones continued to struggle while on the ground before being placed in the handcuffs. He's charged with causing harm to police, disorderly intoxication, endangering property, and others. It would seem to me that the proper punishment would be to allow the horse to take care of it, right? Don't you think that's fair? I do. More than likely, though, he'll just be put in a prison where he can shadowbox his way into friendship, and then he'll be released in about 5 days. That's the Florida man way. Florida man, hitting the pipe and now you're Superman. Save me.
Let's rock.
A Florida man was arrested after placing explosives in a casino toilet. Not exactly what people expect when they hear, "I'm going to go blow up this baño." This is one way to do it. A Florida man is in hot water. He was arrested for allegedly placing 2 radio-controlled explosive devices in the restrooms of a local casino. I'm curious as to why. Did he lose a lot of money? A little bitter about some poor NFL bets the previous weekend? I can empathize with being bitter about losing bets. I was just in Vegas, and I didn't do so well. I never did it cross my mind to blow up a bathroom. I mean, I've exploded in casino toilets before, and I even did that while I was there, I'll admit. But it wasn't in this way. I'm not a violent individual. I don't condone it. But apparently, Florida man Brian Robert Eckley, age 46, from Tampa, condones it. And he was taken into custody facing serious charges of making and placing destructive devices with intent to cause harm. It says here, Eckley tried to slip through the cracks of the law. How dare you try to slip through the cracks of the law? Thanks to the exceptional work of this investigative and forensic team in Florida, he will be held accountable for his explosive attempt. The bizarre incident took place when Eckley reportedly stashed these explosive devices in 2 casino toilets. Fortunately, sharp-eyed casino employees discovered the explosives before they could wreak any havoc. Yeah, not only that, there's like videos everywhere in a casino. I mean, the only place that has more video cameras than a casino in the U.S. is China. Everywhere. They got just videos everywhere. So you can't. Probably North Korea as well, I'd imagine. Places you don't want to really spend a lot of time. I don't know why that came out like Jack Nicholson all of a sudden. Places you don't want to spend a lot of time. While authorities withheld the casino's name, they revealed it was none other than the Hard Rock Casino. That's weird. You didn't want to reveal their name, and they were like, nah, we're not going to tell you the casino, but it rhymes with lard sock. An arrest warrant detailed that the devices posed a serious threat of injury to anyone in the area had they detonated. Thank God they found this, man. What is with this domestic terrorism going around? Well, it is election season. We're all on edge, right? We've been on edge for a number of months. And people are just acting out. And when a Florida man acts out, I mean, they really act out. Although this is probably the least crazy Florida man that I've covered recently. That says a lot. That's the end of the article here. There'll be some punishment doled out, obviously, to the Florida man. Will he learn his lesson? More than likely not. He's a Florida man. Just some advice going to casinos. If, like me, you're not a fan of cigarette smoke, bring a lot of changes of clothes because you're going to smell like a pack of Marlboros after about 2.5 hours of being in just about any casino. A Florida man expecting to be tied up and have sex with a young woman is attacked with a hatchet instead. Florida mating rituals are so adorable, aren't they? We have here a Florida man expecting to have some sex with a young woman. He's just looking for love in all the right places. What did he go on? Meat Grinder? Not Grinder, Meat Grinder. Get it, guys? He was attacked with a hatchet. Okay. A man expected to have some sex after allowing her to tie him up on the beach, and instead he was attacked with a hatchet? Attacked with a hatchet, my goodness. Oh, it's the old tied up for sex but really murder switcheroo. We have here the attack occurred on Ocean Shore Boulevard in a place called Ormond by the Sea. That's what's so tricky about Florida. A lot of the cities have these just lovely names. Ormond by the Sea. And then you imagine it's just going to be a paradise. But no, it's a place where you get on a dating app. Next thing you know, you get your feet cut off by a lady with a hatchet. Was this a dating app? I need to keep reading. It's probably a dating app situation. This is why you don't swipe left on Hatchet Harriet. You can tell what these girls are into from the profile, man. Many pictures I've seen on the dating apps. And you know how you tell these girls, they put right in there. You can see it. They love to go to axe throwing bars, and there'll be a little video of them throwing an axe at an axe throwing bar. You can see right there how good they are with a sharp blade. And that's a no bueno situation. Not hanging out with a girl who's that handy with an axe. She can hit a target from across the room. Yeah, that's when I swipe away. Swipe away, baby, swipe away. Don't hatchet me. I don't want to bleed out this way. All right, back to the deets. There's multiple people involved. It's Alana Cagle, age 18, of Daytona, and her boyfriend Wayne Streeter, age 24, of Ormond Beach. They're each charged with aggravated battery with this deadly weapon known as the hatchet. The victim said that he agreed to come to the beach with Alana so that she could tie him up on the beach and have sex with him. That's a strange... On the beach, man? With your arms tied up, how are you going to get the sand out of your coochie, bro? That's just ridiculous. Tie him up? I just assumed it was in a hotel room or something normal. Not that that's... It's not really normal to meet any stranger and agree to be tied up, but I mean, if you're going to do it, a hotel room, an apartment, the beach? I mean, what if she leaves you there and then the tide comes up? Really stupid behavior here. Anyways, you know, sometimes you get what you deserve. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I don't know if I can feel any empathy for this Florida man at this moment, but let's keep reading. So again, the victim agreed to go to the beach to be tied up and have sex with. Cagle picked him up 6 p.m. in her Subaru and drove to Bicentennial Park, where she parked and walked to the beach. The victim said he started to get some odd vibes from Cagle, who sat 5 feet from him, and then started tying his legs with a piece of yellow rope. Well, isn't that what you asked for? I don't see how that's getting odd vibes when she's delivering your ultimate fetish, which is being tied up on a beach for some reason. The victim said he did not feel comfortable, so he told Cagle that he changed his mind. At the moment he said he changed his mind, the guy Streeter appeared, according to the narrative. How did he just appear? Did he drop down from a seagull flying overhead? The victim began to untie his legs, but Cagle jumped on his legs. He fought her off and ran. Streeter also gave chase. The guy tackled him to the ground. Streeter choked him until he could barely breathe. Cagle started punching him. The victim told a deputy that he, quote, observed Alana with what appeared to be a hatchet as she was striking him all over. My goodness. The victim says he narrowly escaped the beating, fought for his life, ran onto Ocean Shore Boulevard where he saw a deputy's patrol car. Lucky for him. The deputy who picked him up reported seeing a shirtless man bleeding heavily from one leg and other parts of his body, frantically shouting and waving at cars on the boulevard. The victim had multiple cuts to his abdomen, kneecaps, shins, and a deep cut on the upper left part of his back. He was transported to the Advent Health Daytona to be treated for his injuries. Now, Cagle and Streeter, the couple, were arrested shortly after the incident in a traffic stop. Blood and the victim's backpack were found inside the vehicle. And at the scene of the attack on the beach, the police found the yellow rope, a T-shirt, a hat, a sheath for a hatchet as well. They also found blood on a beach walkway and in the park where the victim had ran. Cagle, a.k.a. Hatchet Harriet, asked for a lawyer and declined to speak about the incident. Streeter said he was picked up by Cagle to go to the beach and that he didn't know how the victim got on the beach. He thought he was going to the beach to hook up with Cagle. You want to have a nice romantic walk along the beach and watch the sunset? Oh, by the way, I have a guy coming that we're going to chop up. Wow. I mean, this is just total Florida from every angle. Guys, just a word of advice. First date tie-ups are out. They can't exist. You can't do anything kinky like that on the first date, alone with a stranger. For safety, guys, especially gay men. I don't know, there's a lot of gay men I know that they get involved in some risky things on a first date. I've heard the stories, so I don't recommend it. Wait until date 4 or 5 to do the whole tie-up thing or bring blades into the situation. I know people have a kink with that as well. Floridaman fetishes, they run the whole gamut. Anyways, that's my advice. Stay safe out there, guys, but have a great weekend. I must have got chopped. I must have got chopped on a Florida first date. Hi, my friends. Thanks for joining me for this Florida Friday episode. I was feeling very musical today, so busted out some Floridaman parodies for you. They're not recorded yet. Probably never will be, so they just disappear into the ether like all the other improvs that I do on here. That's what makes the podcast so magical, though. You know. Hope you're having a nice weekend, that you, or maybe you already had one, and be safe out there. All right, careful on those first dates. Make sure you really scrutinize the profiles of these people. It would be uncouth of me if I didn't thank you for sending me Florida Friday news stories the past couple of days. Those of you that did, you can always email me things to funnyjones@gmail.com, or you can go into my Instagram DMs at funnyjones. That's where I'm at. If you would like to support Weird AF News, a one-man operation inside a closet, I'd appreciate that. Consider. Go to weirdafnews.com, where you can join the Patreon, or you can buy Jonesy a coffee. If you happen to be in Southern California, I'm headlining a show on Monday in Long Beach, and it's a pretty cool little gig. So I've done it before. It's a lovely venue down in Long Beach. You'll find that on my Instagram at funnyjones. I'll also put the link to the Eventbrite on there so you can get tickets, or just DM me and maybe I can figure out a way to get you on the guest list. So check that out at funnyjones on Instagram. All right. Just lastly, I'll just say good luck with your life, man, as I do. Bye-bye.